Dark Souls 3 Dung Eater edition, huh? Dark Souls 3. I never played Dark Souls, so no idea. Sseth is really cool, chat. If you haven't followed him, go follow him right now. He's cool as okay, love his video. This is our third video watching from Sseth. Every one of them is golden.
Hey people. Sseth here. The following is highly experimental and may come off as disjointed or schizophrenic. I don't care.
Schizo?
Elden Ring, the newest hot release by Hideo Miyazaki of
Newest hot release. Wait, how many years ago is this video? 3 years ago, okay. Fair.
Ghibli Studios, famous for classic animations such as Howl's Moving Mausoleum and My Invader Totoro. From Software have really outdone themselves, as this game features not one, but 2 crustaceans, possibly even more. Unfortunately, I haven't unlocked the ability to swim, so I cannot confirm or deny that. The game begins, and I make my character. His name, Sambubu.
My man is leading the time. This is a TikTok filter nowadays. And he made this video 3 years ago! Sambubu.
His class, naturally, is wretched. I did originally consider prisoner, but I chose not to. I take the key as my starting item, and live to regret it after I get immediate access to a side dungeon and get run over repeatedly by a speeding train. I chose instead to go the other way. After camping a few times, Melina comes by and offers me an accord. I turn it down because I think it's funny. I then proceed to kill Morgoth and...
Do you think TikTok filter is inspired by Sambubu? Because technically Sambubu come out first, right?
Godric before I realize I haven't leveled up. How was I supposed to know I had to say yes? Miyazaki, just because I'm offered the ability to talk to a woman doesn't mean I'm going to take it.
Why
I think
not?
that's a symptom of bad design. Conversely, I fell for the oldest trick in a book, the warm embrace of a woman's lap, only to find out 100 hours later it's actually a demon.
I love that lady, man. She's hot. Doesn't matter the debuff, I will sleep on her nap as much as I can. Chat. If I actually get reincarnated into Elden Ring, I'm gonna just lay on her bed and never leave.
Debuff. What did they mean by this? I guess I'll have to consult a 40-minute lore video to figure out the true symbology behind this item description. I tell you, passive...
But she lays with everyone, Niner. The debuff is almost like STD. I don't give a fuck. I'm in Elden Ring world. Do you think I care about fucking STD? I'm dying every second to become runes.
Of storytelling at its very best, especially when half of characters either disappear, die, or start T-posing during your playthrough. This might bother people who believe there's a story, which is the equivalent of finding a bunch of random notes and thinking to yourself, damn, that book was wild. Halo's plot is crazy. Have you not read all the secret terminals? On the bright side, Dark Souls lore channels now have a steady source of bread for the next 4 years.
I know.
I assure you, you'll know every side character better than your own family.
I know all the Elden Ring content creators, they're so thorough and detailed, chat. If you haven't checked out those videos, check it out. They analyze every small little thing. It's great material to pass out with.
I don't remember which war Granddad was fighting, but I do know Patches. I know that, canonically, he is circumcised. Honestly, I don't judge. I still get to have my wife Ronnie. What I'm criticizing is the involvement of this fat fuck. Celebrated offer, helping to weave the narrative experience. Okay, let's see what this dude wrote.
Who is this dude, chat?
Sunset found her squatting in the grass, groaning. Every stool was looser than the one before and smelled fouler. By the time the moon came up, she was shitting brown water. The more she drank, the more she shat, but the more she shat, the thirstier she grew, and her thirst sent her crawling to the stream to suck up more water.
This is literally, I could see this in a clip. What the fuck? Guy wrote Game of Thrones? George Railroad Martin, his famous author? He has something with shit and water, okay? We all got our problems.
I rest my case. J.R.R. Martin is the greatest author who has ever lived. He has also never finished his books.
He also wrote Elden Ring! New information!
And so, fittingly, From Software has embodied the spirit of J.R.R. Martin by never finishing a single quest line. Elden Ring is an ambitious platformer, and if you disagree, you haven't played the game, because half this game is jumping with a head start, or falling into a hole, into a canyon, into the place you originally wanted to, but accidentally jumped before doing so, adding an extra foot to the height of your fall, which turned it into a lethal descent. There's nothing I love more than jumping awkwardly off rooftops, but how do we spice it up? Archers. You love archers. They're on every roof, and they've got tracking. And guess what? The sewer levels are back.
I wonder how much Elden Ring he wrote, because there are fair bit of Dark Soul-like lore in there. He wrote the basics. The game was built around that. Now I see where are the shit coming from. Or the Dung Eater.
And this time, they're essential to the plot. Yeah, I'm thinking Game of the Year. Calling them out in your game, Torrent. Absolute genius. So anybody Googling Elden Ring Torrent gets a bunch of horse pictures instead. I can't wait until Elden Ring 2 features the popular and beloved character Codex de Nuvo pre-cracked no virus. But why are we here?
Oh, dude. Oh, wait, I gotta take another
Oh shit! Don't look, chat! Don't look! Oh my god, why did I pause? I'm sorry, don't look!
We're
It's
here
feet.
for the difficulty because we're hardcore gamers. Take it from me. I've already beaten the final boss, John Elden Ring, so I can give a few pointers. Have you ever used a weapon, armor, fast travel, potions, or opened the world map? I'm sorry to say, but you're playing the game wrong. This game is meant to be played level 1 as a wretch.
No way.
Using a single club. No
No
upgrades.
way.
If you disagree, I'll call you a casual. If you ever hear someone talking like this, take pity on them, because this behavior is characteristic of someone who stacks no paper and gets no bitches.
I don't have a foot fetish, I promise. It's accidentally I just pressed my space bar right there, okay? It's not because I wanna look at the feet. I'm sorry.
This game isn't hard. Not because it's not hard, but because video games fundamentally aren't hard. You know what's hard?
Yes, they're
The
hard.
circumstances of life. Getting a degree. Having a stable family.
Well?
Being born with a baby arm. You're born and one arm develops normally into an adult arm. But the other is this stunted mini child arm, which stops growing at like 3 years of age. So you're
Okay.
this freakish monstrosity. You'll be known around town
Very
as
detailed.
Baby Arm Man. And
Very
the only
detailed.
job you'll ever have is baby arm stock photo.
Like, how do you know so much about the baby arm thing, though?
Because it's harder for them to get a kid to pose for that. It's a lot more convenient to have a malformed monstrosity on standby. Furthermore, I genuinely believe that pattern recognition is a form of cheating. Your Homo sapiens brain is literally destroying the difficulty of the experience
Monkey
by
brain.
compensatory adaptation. I hope that people consider this in the future and later learn to recognize that the truest From Software experience would be a lobotomite run, where prior to playing, we perform a frontal lobotomy and sever your prefrontal cortex. Sometimes, the only option you have to preserve the purity of your experience is brain damage.
Did he say if you're brain damaged to play better? Then why am I not beating Elden Ring? Everyone's name is so similar. Marika, Malenia, Makila, Melina. I didn't realize that until I read it.
Multiplayer enhances the experience. Sometimes you'll see white phantoms briefly appear. These are players from other worlds going through their own journey. Once, I saw a white phantom appear, teabagging a dead NPC. In this moment, I knew I was playing a masterpiece. Messages and appraisal are exactly how Reddit users believe karma works. You upvote, and you get actual physical nourishment from the karma. Oh,
I
look,
know.
a message on the floor. Maybe someone out there will tell me something useful. Then
Right?
you open it and read it, only to see dog butthole. Closely followed
Remember finger butthole, chat?
by Fortnite. According to a true story, once upon a time, Miyazaki's car broke down in the middle of a road. This was during winter, so no help was to be found, when suddenly 3 strangers appeared out of nowhere, sucked him off, and left without even saying a word. And that's how Miyazaki got the inspiration for Souls multiplayer. Gameplay. Flawless, stunning, effervescent. Just like Bloodborne was a complex allegory for sexually transmitted HIV, Elden Ring is a rich synesthesia between seeing Swampland and remembering Blighttown, or hearing Leyendell long after you've left the capital, because my ears are still ringing from the sound of those fucking trumpets.
Oh, dude, I literally have dream about this. Still playing that damn fucking instrument while unconscious.
Actual real critique. No jokes, no giggles. I think every boss should have a stake of America outside the boss room. Generally, this is true, but sometimes I gotta walk. And traditionally, I do not consider cardio as part of a boss fight.
True.
Now, the walks are more generous than any other Souls game. But just because somebody chose to take a smaller shit in my rice doesn't change the fact that it's still there. Inside
True.
my bowl, steaming up my Tupperware. I would also have originally said that the death screen is quite bit long, but then I realized it's working as intended.
Make you suffer.
When you die in PvP, you have no option but to watch helplessly as someone spams point down and repeatedly defiles your dead body. My complaints are pretty mild. If, like me, you didn't realize Vigor has a non-linear scaling, it would have helped immensely to know that going 10 to 20 makes no tangible difference, but 20 to 40 is all the difference between taking a blow and getting one-tapped by most of the game. I wish I knew that at the start. Luckily, this game is very generous with its ability to reroll your character. If you're still paranoid, you can back up your save at no risk. I've done this more than 100 times.
Wait, how? Wait, that's cheating, right?
Without issue, and recommend you do the same, because despite what anybody says, there's a million ways to brick your save. I've done it, I can reproduce it, it's still there. Also,
stop
easy
doing
anti-cheat
that.
is a very good anti-cheat because it's very easy to turn off. My friend may have done exactly that and more. Tell me, Sseth, was he punished? Is he banned? No, some of the later fights have interesting hitboxes. Not like I care. I cheesed through that shit. This game makes you realize the greatest companion you'll ever have is yourself. So why not make a copy? Lore. Before continuing, we have to stop and talk about the best character in the game, Dung Eater. Loathsome Dung Eater.
Best character of the game. Wow, highly voted. You paid for the game however you want. There is no cheating in single player game. I just afraid I will lose my current progress. Like, what if I delete everything? That's why I will never touch that. It's not Mike, sir. This is another very cool dude. His name is Sseth. He's very cool. I like his video. It's more easy to digest, and I follow his word really well, and I love his nice humor.
Eater. Ferocious feaster of feces. Devious doo-doo devourer. Dung Eater consumes excrement, feces, shit even. Nihilistic and with a wicked sense of humor. His greatest desire is to eat the poo-poo and of course murder you and defile your dead body. I think there's a lot.
Honestly, I don't know what does he mean by defile, because he mentioned this in the game. The Dung Eater, he said he will defile my body. What does that even mean? He will shit on me after he kill me in the game?
We can learn from Dung Eater, but as a society, we're not yet ready for that conversation. Builds.
Well, he takes the thing that locate in your butt. There's something in my butt? There is nothing in my butt, chat. I shit very well every day.
There's many builds. Strength is terrible until you realize you can power stance through the entire game and block everything else with barricade shield for 0 stamina. Going strength, unfortunately, puts you at the highest risk group for naming yourself the Black Swordsman and cosplaying as your favorite slice of life anime. If I see you doing this, I'll summon you intentionally so I can kick you from my world.
He nasty, he mean making bad stuff to you, and the great tree will not even take your soul because it's so dirty. Oh, he's so evil, and oh my. Such a dark game.
Dexterity. Do you enjoy katanas?
Yes.
How about double katanas?
I love double katana. I'm a dual blade player.
Each one longer than the last, using
What?
realistic...
There is dual blade in Elden Ring? How do I never know this?
historically accurate sword techniques from feudal era Japan? What about epic
What?
PvP compilations? Say no more. Get a river of blood today. Intelligence. Some would say a great deal of their enjoyment comes from learning the moveset of every boss. A rhythmic dance between sword, swipe, and parry. A lethal symphony silenced only by death. Others would disagree. I'm confident that if you ask any player running sorcery, what's their favorite boss?
What's my favorite boss as a mage player? The boss doesn't move in one spot. I love those bosses.
They'll recoil in surprise and say, I don't know any.
PvP was so fun in Elden Ring. It was not fun for me because everybody beat me up. There are some cool dual sword in DLC. I wanna check it out.
Just sit at the back and spam Azure Comet. Faith. Incantations are very good. Abusing the animation of Catch Flame to cast them instantaneously is even better.
Yeah.
And before you
Face build is very cool. Wanna try it?
say it, I know. It's working exactly as intended. You know what else is intended? This. Also, this. And this. My greatest enjoyment of this game, beyond the exploration, the richness of the graphics, and the scale of the world they made, has been abusing every mechanic I possibly can.
I feel that.
before it gets patched out.
feel
And so,
that.
inevitably, I have taken to abusing of her players. You might call them humans. I call them people who use Moonveil unironically. And thus, I feel no remorse for any of my actions. In summary, Elden Ring attracts many different responses. Some fillet the long shaft of FromSoft endlessly. Others hate it because of their own incompetence. Walking manifestations of a Dunning-Kruger effect, these people believe that failure is not their own and somehow inflicted upon them by the universe. You can't be bad
Yeah.
at video games, as video games are merely a subject
Why are we suddenly getting very philosophical here? Hello?
matter. No, that is a deficit in your cognitive ability, something that likely plagues you in every aspect of your life. In summary, if you're bad at video games, you're bad at life. You've
I'm bad at life?
got a smooth brain and a low IQ.
He just roasted me for no fucking reason. He just called me smooth brain and low IQ.
Your fate is to be a grunt in the New World Order. And then there's others, like me, who are quietly waking up to the fact that maybe we should have never dropped those bombs to begin with. I guess what I'm trying to say is Elden Scrolls, 10 out of 10, garbage. I love it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. If you're interested in some merchant multiplayer, password FUGHUNT goes in all fields. First 52 Invade get a 15% off their first month of FUGHunters.com, the official sponsor of this
Is it
video.
real?
And now, allow me to
What is Thug Hunt? Is that video game?
conclude this presentation with some calming visuals. Rest assured, most of the things seen here can no longer be afflicted on another human being.
Okay.
A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Yeah. Get out of here with that shit, man.